All right, Troy Weaver opened up yesterday. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out our Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. And first, we're going to speak on basically him opening up on him being aggressive in free agency and in the draft. But yeah, I mean, he spoke on Killian, spoke on Jerami Grant. Even Dwayne Casey spit a little bit, but it's good to see a GM that actually gives you a sound clip. And I think that could be normal in the NBA because we've seen with Mayhew and with the Lions, and we've seen with Mayhew and Bob Quinn that they didn't speak to the media not too often or only when they had to. And I think, successful GM in the NFL will talk all the time. The guys that's not successful and don't want to face the tough questions won't talk. And that's good to see, Troy Weaver actually opening up and giving the fans an update. And I think that's a great quality that he have, and he's not really trying to hide from what people got to say. And it's kind of premature to really judge any of his, targets this offseason. But he said on being aggressive in his first year, when I was growing up, I didn't stick my toe in the pool. I jumped in. I sat on the floor on the roller coaster with my hands up. So I'm not going to come in and be gunshot. My clip will be empty. And he was aggressive. Mason Plumlee, Jerami Grant, two players that he acquired that a lot of people didn't think was good enough for the contract that they got. And, you continue, to look, and people didn't believe in Killian and still don't. Isaiah Stewart, and he really flipped his roster, straight to Bruce Brown, and, they really got busy. Brought Savitas in when most people didn't think he was going to come in, traded for Musa in a Bruce Brown deal, and, it's really looking a lot different, and the things he couldn't do, like trade Blake Griffin, I mean, everybody understood that, and just looking at it, he flipped the roster over quick, sign and trade Christian Wood, and we're going to see what he all about Houston without James Harden, him going over to Brooklyn. And, you want to see somebody get aggressive. With us being in Detroit, with the Lions and the Pistons, we don't see a whole bunch of aggression from the front office. The Lions, they take chances on injury-prone players. And, when the Jalen Ramseys are available to pay or, when there's a deal to get done, they don't. And historically with the Pistons, they went out and got Reggie Jackson. They just don't really make the moves. You know what I'm saying? They don't be aggressive. They make those little beta male moves, and they don't draft the right way. He, basically acquired 2 draft picks this year in addition to 1. And that's what people want to see. People want to see aggression. People want to see the Pistons go for it. They also want to see that for the Lions. And that's what we're talking about. Willing to deal him, taking the chance. And it didn't hurt that he came from the draft away with a fan favorite and Sadiq Bey in the draft. And usually when you're looking at these teams, they all off the radar. Drafting guys with a pick when other guys there are successful. So, you like him being aggressive. You like his aggression. The question is, can he get it right? The question is, can he draft the right way? The question is, can he take the visualization that he has for the team in the future? Can he paint that picture? Because just because you're aggressive don't mean you're going to be successful. And just because you talk to the media, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. So, will his draft picks work out? That's the number one thing with the Pistons. We're not Boston. We're not LA. We're not Miami. We're not a destination where people are going to want to come to just looking at us on the surface. People want to come to Detroit because once they get here, they happy. They see the love the Pistons get. They see how good the suburbs and the Metro Detroit area is. But it's hard to get people to come here and see it. Because they come here for games and all they see is, downtown or wherever they stand at. That's all they see. For Weaver has to build the foundation, and Joe Dumars did it a whole different way. Had Joe Dumars been able to draft and basically make the trades and free agents that he did have, Joe Dumars probably would still be the GM. The Pistons dynasty would have carried over from 2004 all the way to where San Antonio's did. Had a top 2 pick, he messed it up. If you had put Dwayne Wade on this team and molded around Wade, it'd have been over with. Down the line when he gone, they missed on Giannis, they missed on Mitchell, they missed on Booker. You know what I'm saying? So that's been our biggest Achilles heel. And, and he spoke on Killian saying that, with Killian, it was a gut check with him getting the injury. He was just starting to develop and, he had to develop in other areas while he out with the injury. And you don't expect Dwayne Casey and Troy Weaver to admit they was wrong on Killian Hayes. You don't. And, of course, they're going to speak on him in a positive light. But at some point, you got to ask yourself in their brain, do they think he a bust? Because it don't look like he can play a lick. He has his moments, but he just looks so reserve. He don't have that aggression that Troy Weaver had. He not an attacker. And then the athleticism isn't there, and the ability to dribble the ball against high upper echelon competition isn't there. But then again, they know they're 19, and then also people like looking at Dubonnier and saying like, ooh, Sekou, he can't do it neither. No more French players. It's like for the Lions, no more tight ends. And that's what it's looking like. Where the last 2 draft picks is like we gonna have to really start from scratch. And I think they're helping Dubonnier by still having Blake Griffin here, playing Sadiq Bey, drafting him, and also getting Jerami Grant, which he talked about, and I'll get to in a minute. That's hurting Sadiq Bey. That's hurting Dubonnier's ability to grow. And his confidence. That's how Darko got, basically to that dark spot he was in here. Darko was playing behind 2 of the best bigs in the league, especially defensively, Rasheed and Ben. And he lost a lot of confidence and never really got it back. And he was a foreigner, just like Killian and Dubonnier. And even though Killian was born in Florida, he spent most of his time over there in Europe. But, maybe, whatever they see, if he don't draft well, I don't care nothing. You're not going to recreate that perfect storm that Joe Dumars did. If you don't draft well, it's not going to work out for you. And that's what he has to understand. You have to draft. And if you get up high like Joe Dumars did, top 3, you got to make sure you come away with the best available player for us. But he spoke on Jerami Grant, saying that he happy that Jerami Grant took a chance on the Pistons, and he took a chance on the Pistons himself. And that he not really surprised by the success that he had early. He hopes that he continues to grow. And my whole thing is, I was a little surprised, but I was making videos telling people to jump off Jerami Grant. I kind of didn't like him in the beginning. It was more Blake being there, him not playing well. But once Blake went out, and he was able to establish himself as the team leader on the floor offensively. You could see the confidence growing. And he said it's something that he expected. It had to be something that he's seeing in Jerami Grant in practice, one-on-ones, or the way when he got an opportunity to run with the 2s, he was able to take over in Oklahoma City Thunder. So it was something that I think he's seen, that he knew he was going, really be that deal. And right now, he the reason why Dubonnier can't get no playing time. And then, Jerami Grant at 26 growing to, a good Batman a great Robin or a good Batman, and able to find that next guy, and people, not so high on that Cunningham guy because he don't score, but that's not a point guard's job. Point guard is a lot of stuff a lot of stats you can't measure with a point guard. You know what I'm saying? It's like the statisticals you can't see. Him being a leader, him getting guys in the position, him being a floor general. If that's what Cade Cunningham is, good. Because that's what you want to be. People see Isaiah had the 30-20 game, 30 points or 20 assists. That's cool. But it was more about his leadership. The more how he held dudes accountable, how he got guys in position to be successful. That's what you liked about him. That's what a point guard is. If Killian can go into that confident point guard, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, if them jokers wanted to score, John Stockton, if they want to score 40, 50 a night, they could. But a lot what a true floor general brings to the table, which is not Kyrie, it's not James Harden, it's not Damian Lillard, not Lillard's my favorite player. A true floor general make people better. He said people put these guys in a position. And the youngest one is LaMelo Ball. He the youngest one. He doing it, he doing it big over there. But it's good to see Troy Weaver kind of speak out and give us confidence and, show us that, he ain't trying to hide some mistakes he made. And really he ain't trying to boast on some of the right moves he made. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. And shout out to Troy Weaver. That's what everybody want to see, is where, he's speaking, he not hiding, and, that's what you want. Because Bob Quinn was hiding like a little bitch. Jeff Bowers, you didn't hear from him. You heard more from Stan Van Gundy because he was the coach and the GM. And they made a lot of mistakes that they won't admit to. And it's good to see Troy Weaver come out here and get a Piston fans a briefing. They ain't even played 20 games yet, and he already speaking. So I think they know what they're doing, setting themselves up for success in the future. And we just need to see what the picks do. Even if Killian don't pan out, what if Stewart do? What if Sadiq do? And I think Sadiq will. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Check out the Detroit Piston playlist. For more videos like this, don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response, or video request. All my social media links in the description. Fastest way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App CJGood313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description as well, too. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you guys think. One time for the one time. Mercy Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We gone.